Gail, thanks very much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Just tell me a little bit more about Covivio. What's the current strategy? How do you see the market?
So Covivio, the former name was Foncière des Régions. It's a French REIT with around 23 billion euro of assets and split in 4 businesses. One is residential in Germany, the other one is office in France, office in Italy, and the fourth one is hotels in Europe. And I'm running the hotel portfolio, and it represents around 6.5 billion euro of assets, just the hotel part. And we are among the largest REIT in Europe, and definitely the idea is to have a strong diversified presence throughout Europe. And I would say it's a well balance between France, which represents 30% of the portfolio, Germany 25%, UK that we acquired recently 18%, and 12% is in Spain. So it's well balanced among countries, and after well balanced among hotel operators, where we are diversified from Accor, IAG, and all leaders, NH and so ever, and also diversified in terms of segment, where we are 1/3 budget, 1/3 mid-scale, 1/3 upscale hotels.
In terms of the hotel sector, what do you see at the moment as the key trends there?
I would say performance is still very good and very well oriented, especially we are strongly exposed to Paris and Brussels, which were affected by the terrorist attack, as we all know. And now we are recovering completely what was the performance previous pre-attack, I would say. So we still see positive trends. We just penetrated the UK market. London has been slightly affected, but we do believe that the long-term vision is still positive, and it's well balanced with the regional UK markets, which are still positive. And I would say a key element for us is that the long-term vision, whatever happens, you may have some volatility, but the long-term vision, you have a strong increase in tourism, in leisure demand, and we do expect that you will have a 3% tourism GDP increase on a yearly basis over the next 10 years, compared to 2% roughly, 1 to 2% for the GDP. So that means for us it gives a fundamental reason why we should stay invested in hotels.
And is your aim to keep the portfolio where it is, or are you looking to acquire more hotels to be more active in the sector?
So today we are still in investment mode, I would say. However, we are as usual, I would say, but we are quite cautious in terms of pricing. So we do see that some pricing are quite high, and we prefer not to do. What is a key element is that we are not a fund. We are a long-term REIT owned by institutional money, which means we are not in an obligation to invest. However, we do believe, as I said, fundamentals are fine. So let's invest, but not at any price. So we are still ready to invest in Spain, Italy, the UK, Western Europe, easy. We are contemplating, do we invest in Eastern Europe? Maybe we will go. Depends on the price, as usual, but we could go. And UK deal was a key driver for us. It was the first time we go outside the Eurozone. So now we show that it works well. So it gives us the flexibility to go outside of Eurozone. So, and we discovered another area. We discovered that when we acquired 2 years ago the Merlin portfolio in Spain for around 500 million euros, there were some leisure assets, and these leisure assets are performing extremely well. So this is where we could anticipate buying some resorts or some assets. But what I said to my teams is that clearly this is also the year of the asset management, which means let's focus on the existing assets. Do we have used all the buildable rights that we have and do we have done all the capex programs that are needed to maximize the value? So still investment mode, but also strong focus on our portfolio. And in the same time, we are selling some assets on a yearly basis. We are selling between 200 to 300 million euros of assets. There were a retail portfolio among our portfolio, and which is slower and lower since we sold this year around 200 million euros of retail portfolio. And now we are at 300 million euros just for sale in our remaining retail portfolio. So active in asset management, I would say.
Gail, thanks very much for sharing the strategy for Covivio and especially the focus on hotels. It's a very interesting sector and I can see that growing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.